Hey guys, we are back with some more Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and in this one, we are at the draft as we weren't even kicked out of the playoffs. We were not even in the playoffs. So we're going to be undergoing a little bit of a retool, actually a lot of bit of a retool in this offseason as we have a ton of veterans on expiring contracts and a ton of just old players in general. So we're going to be unloading a lot of them either at the draft or in free agency. And we are going to be getting a fresh start here in Wolfsburg. It is at the end of year number 5 now. We are going into year number 6, so it doesn't need to be very much of a fast rebuild, a fast retool, so that we don't waste too much time and we can be competitive as soon as we can. Now, that being said, we're not trading all of our veterans, but we are trading the ones that have value here. Now, we're not going to be able to trade for all these top picks here. I mean, San Jose is two of the top 4, so I don't think there's any chance San Jose wants to give those up, just given how many old guys they have, and then Chicago as well, Florida, St. Louis. It wouldn't make any sense for any of these teams to trade their pick, but we are going to try to go after the LA Kings 7th overall pick, as there are a couple of guys who I really want that are going around that pick. And oh man, Taro Alto, 84 overall. He would have helped tremendously, but we didn't win the lottery this year, unfortunately. Sim the next pick. Urquhart went 2nd, 84 overall as well. Jeez. Let's see, Florida. They will take Caleb Marchment, 83 overall. Jeez, this draft is stacked with top end talent. Dryden, 82 overall. Jesus, these guys. The Blues will take Solovyov. And then they will also take Nolan. Now, we're going to try to trade for the Kings' 7th overall pick. And it is going to be quite the package going the other way, as we know exactly who we're getting with this pick. And he is just about NHL ready, I would say. Because he has pretty much all A's going across the board. And let me just find the players that are going back here. Who I have written down. Sodergram and Dudas. I believe it is. Yeah, here they are. So, we are going to be adding to this deal Dougie Hamilton and Jonas Brodin. 2 veteran defensemen. Not on expiring contracts, but they both have 1 year left after this. So I'd rather just get them out of here right now, since we kind of need a fresh start. And as for why we're trading them, well, I kind of already explained that. We just need a fresh start. And we are getting a young NHL, pretty much, again, NHL-ready prospect right out of the draft. And we are also going to be trading the Lightning's 30th overall pick. So Brodin, Hamilton, and the Lightning's pick for the 7th overall pick from the Kings. There you go. So we now have the 7th overall pick, and we will use it to select either Zanetti or Lundin. Now, both of these guys appear to be pretty much NHL ready, and Lundin is more well-rounded in terms of his physicality, but the guy who I like here is Aaron Zanetti, because he has A for shooting, A+ for puck skills, A for senses, A for skating, and a B for physicality, A- for defense. So that's the only area he's really weak in. Whereas you compare that to Lundin, he's got the A+ in shooting, A for puck skills, but he's got the A- senses, A- skating, and then the A- physicality, A for defense. So he's definitely a better two-way forward, but Zanetti is going to get that offense for us. And we clearly struggled there last year. And I don't know, I just feel like he's going to be a better pick in the long term for this team. He's similar style to Jonathan Marchessault. Yeah, I'm going to take Aaron Zanetti here with this pick. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves, 79 overall. He looks to be ready for this year. If not, then definitely the year after. So Philly's pick, I don't think we're going to be able to trade for this, as there's not much that I really want to give up to Philly. I mean, they want Miller, so I guess we could try. but I don't know. I don't want to give up an arm and a leg like I did for that 7th, because then that'd just be a little too much. I don't want to give up Rodin because he's actually grown significantly. He's at a 69 now at 19 years of age. I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm not trading the 16th. I have someone in mind for that pick who will be a steal for 16. Yeah, goaltenders. Oh my goodness. Schneider. 89 overall. What is this man doing? He's out here at 37 years of age, making sprawling saves still, and he's an 89. He's back to an 89 overall. So anyway, I mean, we only have 2 minutes to try to trade for this pick because, you know, clock's running down here. I don't know if there's any other options in play here. As Miller, I mean, I guess you could give up Westcott, considering you're getting a much more ready, NHL ready forward in return. So I get, yeah, you could put Westcott there. You know what? Bach might have to go the other way as well. He's already 23. He's only a 72 still. Yeah, I think his time is up, unfortunately. So maybe Miller, Westcott, and Bach for the 8th overall pick. That might work, actually. Proposed trade. Rejected. We would take on Colton Westcott. Okay, so what if, we might be able to make this work. I'm not sure what other picks I would put in here, though. I might be able to, let's say, put Arizona's 3rd. Let's see. No, so it's clearly not enough just yet. What if I put a 2nd in there instead of Arizona's 3rd? Proposed trade. Reject. How about both the 2nd and the 3rd? Why not? Proposed trade. Rejected still. They might not like the contract of JT Miller. What if I took back a bad contract that they have? They might have a bad contract still, like maybe a Jacob McDonald, or not Jacob McDonald, Andrew McDonald. How about Lindblom? That might work out. Proposed trade? Nope. Okay. Yeah, they selected. Okay, so yeah, that's unfortunate. And yeah, they did take Lundin. Couldn't get it fast enough. I tried, boys. That was as much as I was willing to go. But yeah, I guess it didn't really matter who we took. I guess they're both going to be NHL ready year 1. It's just, I guess Zanetti's going to be more offensively based and Lundin the better two-way forward. So, you know what? I'm happy with the pick that we made. It's unfortunate we couldn't get Lundin, but that's just the way she goes. And I wasn't going to give up a first-round pick of our own for just to move up to that spot, because I know there's a player at 16 who we could steal. We could definitely get a good player at 16, as there is a guy who I've had my eye on, and that would be Carl Staples. Supposedly an offensive defenseman, medium top 4. However, he is already pretty much NHL ready. He's 6'3" as well, so he's got the size, he's got the skill, he's got shutdown ability, and a heavy slap shot. Teammate utilization is a weakness, but, you know, he could probably work on that. A for shooting, A for puck skills, A- for senses, A for skating, A for physicality. Needs to work on the defense a little bit, but you know what? He's pretty much NHL ready, so we will be taking Carl Staples with this pick. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. 79 overall two-way defenseman. Let's go. All right, so next thing I want to do is try to trade for one of these picks, because I did see a medium elite that I want to pick up, but I'm going to wait to see if he's still there with the pick that I want to trade for, which would be Winnipeg's pick, because I believe they want to give it up. Yeah, they do. So I'm going to try to trade for this, but not until I'm absolutely sure that that medium elite is still available. Boston, okay, I believe he is still available. I don't think I saw his name. The player I'm talking about is Edgar Castles, I believe his name is. I scouted this out previously, before the video started, in the draft class. So what am I giving up here? I'm giving up Tyler Myers, who is 33 years of age. 3 years left on his, well, 2 years technically. That's not going to be enough on its own, but we're not going to have to give up too much more here, luckily. We'll give up our 7th rounder for this year, and, oh, you know what, it's a good thing I didn't trade that Arizona 3rd, because that is one of the trade chips here in this trade. So Myers, a 3rd from Arizona for next year, and our 7th for Winnipeg's 1st. Proposed trade accepted. There you go. So now, we will select with this pick... Edgar Castles, medium elite, defensive defenseman. He's a little ways away from the NHL, but if anything, or if he doesn't end up being on a roster, then he is definitely good trade bait with that medium elite potential. Welcome to Wolfsburg. 63 overall, so not too bad. I wouldn't say he fits within our window of contending for the Stanley Cup because, you know, that would be within the next year or two. And he's definitely more than a year or two away. So unless he has some phenomenal growth over the course of 1 year, that I wouldn't say he ends up on our roster. But, I mean, I guess you never know. So that is it for the first round in terms of moves that we're going to be making. So we will send to our 2nd round pick here and see if we can get a gem. We have Jonathan Clancy, who, again, doesn't appear to be NHL ready, but he's got that medium top 4. We'll sort by potential here. There's Millman, Jack Millman, who's not quite a medium elite. He might be, but there's also a chance that he might not be. So I would rather take the guaranteed top 4 here. Or maybe go for a low elite. I'll save the low elites for later in the draft because they're going very late. Anthony Ling, a center, playmaker. We kind of have our centers already, but he wouldn't be bad. He wouldn't be a bad pick for sure if it came down to it. What's Nelson look like? Yeah, he's quite a ways away. I would pick Ling before him. And then there's a bunch of low top 6s down here. What about medium top 4 defensemen? There's Clancy. There's Lukowicz. There's Danielson. Halischuk, Novoseltsev. A lot of medium top 4 defensemen here available in the draft. As I think I want a 2-way defender here, so I might take Lukowicz. It's either Lukowicz or that medium top 6 guy who, yeah, Ling. Let me just make sure there's no one up here. Yeah, I'm going to save the lower elites for later in the draft. It's either Ling or Lukowicz. And I would honestly say we're weaker on forward prospects than we are with defense. So I'm going to take Anthony Ling here. Welcome to Wolfsburg. 59 overall. Not too big of a deal. He's trade bait, I would say. But luckily, there's still a lot of value here left in the draft. As we saw, those medium top 4 defensemen, the low elites, were going later in the draft. And still got that top 6 forward in Stu Nielsen. So not too big of a deal here. As Halischuk and Novoseltsev are the only defensemen left. So where's Nielsen going, actually? He's going 166. I might be able to pick him up with the next pick. I'm not sure about Halischuk or Novoseltsev, so I might want to take one of them now. Novoseltsev has been playing in Russia, so he's been playing against a better competition than Halischuk. And he's also the 2-way defender, so he might end up being... Yeah, I'm going to take Novoseltsev. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves, 54 overall. Again, probably trade bait, but I guess you never know. So going into, I believe this is round number 5. So Halischuk's at the top of the board right now. But I want to see what the status of those low elites are. Yeah, they're probably not going until later, but Pedersen doesn't look too bad. Might be able to take him in the 6th round, presuming we have a 6th round pick. And then there's also still Stu Nielsen. I think I would honestly rather take Pedersen than Nielsen. Is there, oh yeah, there's Halischuk. Character, shot blocking, maturity are his strengths. Weaknesses, skating, mobility, offensive consistency. I think we have enough defensive prospects. I'm going to go for Pettersson here. Posse Pettersson. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves, 54 or 55 overall. But he is the low elite, so he might grow pretty fast. And that will do it for the draft. So welcome to Wolfsburg. Zanetti, Staples, Castles, Ling, Novoselic, and Pettersson. Alright, so let's get to the re-sign stage and sign all those guys. Well, at least the NHL ready ones, which are Zanetti and... who else was it? Staples, right. So, man, we have a lot of scouts to re-sign here, so I will be back in just a second, because this is going to take a little bit here. Okay, so I've signed everyone except for Lindzen here, who is a B- in the U.S. East, so we'll get another U.S. scout in the scouting free agency, but that'll just about do it for that, and we will get to the player re-signing stage. So, Aho is up, Brassard is up, Malkin. Alrighty, so let's start by UFAs here. Any veterans who don't want to re-sign, I'm just cutting straight away because it's just not worth it at the moment. Fallen, release. Let's see, all these guys want to sign, but as we've seen from the from stacking the AHL, that doesn't really help our prospects too much. So I'm gonna cut anyone who's 30 or over from the AHL. So Carr, Brodzinski, Quinn, Grajovac, and that should be about it. We'll re-sign McCarron. Well, actually, I'll wait on these guys. So Lucic, how much would he want? He wants 1.3. He's not bad for the fourth line, but he does have that bottom 6 forward potential. He is 35. Steen. I'm not signing both Steen and Lucic, just one or the other. I think I'd rather sign Lucic because of his physicality. So Steen, you've done well for us, but yeah, we're moving in a younger direction now. Michael Furland, 81 overall. How much would he want if we were to re-sign him? 2.2. That's not too bad of a deal, considering the contract he was on before, 3.5. He brings a lot of physicality. Only 25 points on the third line last year. Brassard doesn't want to resign, so we'll release him. Let's go for RFAs here. So Yannick, he's a young guy. I guess we'll sign him. Dersh, AHL top 2. Well, to be honest, he would work well, technically. Just so that we don't stack up the AHL too much. Addison, I want to re-sign. He's the offensive dynamo down there in the AHL. I'll also re-sign Salda. Musil. I don't think I'll re-sign. Yeah, I'll cut Musil. Sodergren and Dudas. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, we traded for them in that Kings trade. We may as well re-sign them here. So Liam Kirk here, he wants a one-way deal. Riot, I'm going to cut Riot. I have a feeling he wants a one-way deal. Yeah, he wants 1.4. Yeah, I'll cut Riot. And then Aho. Yeah, Aho wants 7 mil. And this was his first pro contract, so if I give him a bridge deal here, 2 mil, yeah, that's gonna be what we have to do here in order to get him locked up long-term later. So 6.75 for 2 years for Aho. And as for Kirk, I mean, I guess I'll wait on him because he was pretty good for the AHL in terms of scoring goals. Whitecloud, McDermott. I'm gonna release McDermott because I have a feeling he might be halting the progression of some of our D-men. But I will re-sign Whitecloud. Actually, he wants a one-way deal. I'll release him as well. And then Lucic, Furland, Gino. How much would Gino want? He wants 2.7, so that's not too shabby. Maybe just as another veteran presence for the young guys. He scored 64 points last year. Bringing back Gino might not be too bad of an idea. just so he can, you know what, yeah, he could help out with the development of Aaron Zanetti, and then there's Carl Staples there as well. I'm not going to sign Zanetti and Staples at the moment. I want to see how they, well, actually, they'll probably end up on our roster anyway, so it's not like we'll be burning a year of their entry-level contracts if we send them down to juniors, so it's no big deal. We'll sign them now. Barney, I'm not going to sign him at the moment. Castles, I won't sign either. Ling, I won't sign any of these guys besides Staples and Zanetti for right now. And UFAs, you know what? I would rather re-sign Furland, just given that he's better than Lucic, and he's a veteran presence there as well. He pretty much fills the same role, just slightly better than Lucic. So we'll release Lucic here, and we'll re-sign Furland. 1 year deal for him, 2.2. There you go. And then Fazleev and McCarron, if they want a two-way deal, yeah, I'll re-sign them. Well, actually, I'll release McCarron because I will re-sign Kirk. He's young, and he helps out the AHL tremendously. $1 million for 1 year, one way, isn't going to hurt too much, considering the amount of cap space we have. Now, goaltender Schneider. How much does he want? Being an 89 overall, 6.7. Wow. Lindgren doesn't want to re-sign. I'll release him right away. Rodin, we definitely need to sign him now. Dansk for the AHL. If he wants a two-way deal, no, I'll release him. Dell, what does he want? He wants 2.1. I'll release him. I'll see if there's any younger options in free agency. RFAs for goaltenders, Benzing. Yeah, sure, he could be the AHL backup for right now. Actually, that'd be Rodin, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be Rodin. So maybe he just goes in there as a replacement goaltender for the AHL once in a while. Who knows? If there's any injuries. Can never have too many goaltenders. So forwards, yeah, Malkin's still there. We got all our RFAs, I believe. Yeah, all the RFAs are good. Malkin still needs to be signed. Schneider. Okay, that's it. So Gino and Schneider. I definitely want to sign Schneider because he's that 89 overall now, and he just, for some reason, continues to put up phenomenal numbers even at 37 years of age. So I'm going to get him for 6.6 for 1 year. 1 year deals only for the veterans here that are coming back. Malkin, yeah, again, I feel like he'll, especially if Zanetti and the defenseman, jeez, I'm forgetting his name already. Staples. If Zanetti and Staples crack the roster, then I think Gino would be a good guy to help them out there. I mean, of course, we have Pajot, we have Tahan on defense, and we brought Furlan back, but you do need a few veterans here and there in a rebuild to help out with the young guys. So 2.6 for Gino sounds about right. There you go. And that should be it, actually. For UFAs, RFAs, I believe we are all good. Yes, we are all set to go. Prospects are signed. So let's see who signs here. And any veterans who don't want to sign, then we will just release them. So let's see, all the scouts signing here. Furlan has accepted. Staples, Zanetti, Schneider accepts. Gino accepts. Fazleev, Aho accepts. Dudas, Kirk, Dersh. Yep, all these guys. We can see them later. I'm pretty sure they all accepted. I do not believe I saw a single reject in there. As no, we did not. They have all signed, so that should be about it. Let's make our way to July 1st. Okay, so for scouts, we are going to go after Caden Reed for the U.S. He's an A, and that'd be a great upgrade to our U.S. scouting staff. And let's see if there's any other upgrades we can make here. Got some A+ NHL scouts, and then you got another A- USA, AHL, Russia is a B. We already have a B for Russia. US West is a B. I could upgrade Bolton there. And that is about it in terms of what we are going to do for scouts. So I'll just release Bolton real quick, and then we will continue on with free agency, and we will see who is available in terms of players. Now, we're not going to go too crazy with the free agents, as that kind of killed us before. But oh my, Nathan McKinnon, Barkov are available, Drouin, Tuck, Wallman, Honka, Hosang, Vrana, Pedersen, Tanev, Turris, Henrique, Nemesnikov, Wilson, Miller, Brassard. Okay, so a lot of names in there in free agency, a couple of big ones as well. But as we know, going after those free agents doesn't exactly work out for us. So in terms of goaltender, you have Schneider. We obviously need a backup goaltender because I'm not having Benzing there. And Rodin needs to be in the minors for right now. In terms of defense, you have Kuleshov, Jones, DeHaan. I would say Staples plays. Maybe you give the chance to Hanu or Tannen as well. But other than that, I think you need to trade for another young defenseman who can slot in there right away. And then in terms of forwards, Aho, Homer, Mayer, Point, Miller, Malkin, Furlan, Pajot, Zanetti, that's 9. Kirk, Williams. I'm hoping Williams will be able to step in. But maybe not, because he's still got that minor scoring forward, 77 overall. So I would say we need at least 2 well, maybe not veterans, but, young guys who are ready for the NHL in terms of forwards, and then 1 in terms of defense, and then maybe even a goaltender. And I don't think we're going to find that in free agency. I think that's going to be via trade. So let's sort by UFAs here. I mean, there might be an RFA available. There's Ruzicka. He says 78 overall, though. That's the best RFA in this class at the moment. Yeah. I'm not going to go after any RFAs there. And everyone who's 27 or older, I don't really want to go after. I would rather go after a young guy who's just ready for the NHL now. So we're going to see if we can make a trade here. And some trading chips would be Miller, who has 4 years left on his deal. 84 overall, so he wouldn't be bad. And then really any of the draft picks who just aren't even close to NHL ready, they'll be on the block as well in favor of young guys who are ready for the NHL. Okay, so I think I found a pretty good trade here from the New York Islanders. We're going to be giving up Dominic Bach, Colton Westcott, and Novoselicev, who we just drafted, for Zamnov and Pearson. Now let me show you Zamnov and Pearson. Zamnov is currently an 81 overall, 20 years of age. We don't know his potential, we don't know his role, but I'm going to guess just based off the fact that he's an 81 overall at 20 years of age, he's pretty good. He's a two-way defenseman, presumably. And then this Pablo Pearson guy, 80 overall, 22 years of age, third-line scoring forward. He looks to be pretty solid. So it was actually his third year in the NHL, but he does look promising. He has 93 hits this past year, 52% on faceoffs. We can improve that turnover ratio, so he'll be going the other way to us. And Bach, Westcott, and Novoselicev to the Islanders. So proposed trade won't go through. No, rejected. Okay, let's see if we can add maybe a third-round pick for this year. Proposed trade. Rejected still. Quite far off in value. Okay. That's unfortunate. I'm not going to give up Rodin. Not giving up Barney or Castles at the moment. Okay, what if instead of a third, we gave a second? Proposed trade. A bit off, so it's getting there. It's getting there. I would say maybe a third for next year will do it. Trade accepted. There you go. Okay, so we got 2 NHL-ready players who are 22 or younger now. So we are looking a little bit better. Zamnov, welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. And who was it here? Pearson, welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves as well. So looking a little bit better now. We do still need a couple more forwards, but I don't think that should be a problem, as we do have a lot of trade value on our side. Okay, so I found another trade here with the Vegas Golden Knights. We are going to be giving up Anthony Ling, guy who just drafted in the second round, 59 overall though, for Jason Robertson, 81 overall. He is currently 23, making $1.7 million for the next year. He's a sniper. and a 3rd round pick from Vegas. Proposed trade. Trade accepted. There you go. And now we'll have to make one more, as I believe that is 11 forwards. So if we take a look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's, I believe this is 9. Yeah, there's 9 Furlan, 10 is Pearson, Zanetti, 11, yeah. I'm not counting on Williams to jump up this year. If he does, then great, but if not, then you might want to get one more player just in case. As we do still want to be competitive this year. It's just, you know, we're getting a lot younger. And the last trade that we are going to be making is Pasi Pettersson, the guy who we just got in the draft, and the Vegas Golden Knights 3rd round pick that we also just got for Frederick Stahlberg from the Edmonton Oilers. 80 overall, and he spent the last 3 seasons in the NHL. He's a very grindy type of player at only 21 years of age. 3 consecutive 30-point seasons. He does take quite a few penalties, but he does make up for that in his physicality. And I'm hoping that as he gets older, his defensive ratios in terms of giveaways and takeaways will get better. And he does block quite a few shots as well. So Pettersson, that's another reason why I'm trading him, to be honest. And then a 3rd for Stahlberg. Proposed trade rejected. Okay, I'm going to have to add a little bit of something else here to this. I guess I could afford to give him a 4th, considering we don't really need too many of those depth draft picks, unless it's, you know, we're picking up a medium elite gem. Proposed trade rejected. Value isn't there whatsoever. Okay, that makes me a bit nervous. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try Devin Turco for Stahlberg straight up, as I think this kid does have a future, but it's just not going to be with us because we are looking to still be competitive. And Stahlberg, I feel, is a player who could help us out in a huge way in the bottom 6. And he just doesn't fit our timeline. So Turco for Stahlberg, 1 for 1. No, okay. We're going to have to throw a pick in there then. And that's what I thought, but we'll, you know, may as well try 1 for 1, see if it could work. Because you never know. It's the Edmonton Oilers, right? They love their 1 for 1 deals. Turco and a 3rd for Stahlberg. Proposed trade. There you go. Okay. So now, I believe we are set to start the next season without signing any free agents. We got all of our roster players for this year out of either the draft or trades, and they were all very young players. I don't think any of them were younger than 23. So, or older than 23, rather. So, yeah. In terms of forwards, you have Homer and Aho, Mayer, Point, Miller, Malkin, Furland, Pajot, Robertson, Pearson, and Stahlberg, and Zanetti as well. And then, of course, Williams, if he comes up, will be a nice surprise, but I wasn't banking on that happening. Then defensively, Kuleshov, Jones, Zamnov, Staples, DeHaan, and Virtanen. So there's a little bit of a weakness there in the top 4, but it's for the best, as the majority of our top 4 are 20 or younger. Then you have DeHaan there as the veteran presence. So the defensive core definitely needs to be built, but it's a work in progress. In a couple of years, this will be a very good defensive core, I have a feeling. And then Schneider, obviously, we actually do still need a backup goaltender, so that is the one thing I will go into free agency for. There's Thatcher Demko. That would help a lot, for sure. Do I go for Demko? Here's the thing. He's 27. And we've been struggling to find a goaltender basically this whole GM mode. Has he been in the playoffs? Not too great. At least not in his first run. I don't know. Do we go for Demko? Or do we just go for a solid backup goaltender? Oh, man. That's actually... that's tempting. It's very tempting. Given Schneider's age, it is very tempting. So is Demko the one player we go after in free agency? You know what? I don't know the next time we're going to be able to come across a star free agent, at least a star goaltender who's this age. And given our team status, we do want to win within the next year or two, and we do still want to be competitive this year, so it would make sense to sign Demko. And then you could split the games between Schneider and Demko accordingly. Because Schneider, without a doubt, is going to drop. Even though he's got that 89, he's still, he's at that age where it's just he could drop off tremendously at any moment. So, yeah, I'm going to go after Demko. And especially considering how much cap space we have. I mean, 28 mil, we can definitely afford him. It's just a matter of whether it would make sense. But still, again, we're in that position where it does make sense for us to sign Demko. He is our one big free agent signing. Because I want the rest of our roster to be the young guys who we either just traded for or drafted. So Demko, yeah, 7-year deal. We may as well give it to him. That'll take him till he's 34. I mean, if I could go for 6 years, no, I don't want to chance it. I'll just go for 7 years for 9.6. There you go. If he signs, then great. If not, then we're gonna have to keep looking. But I think that would be a very beneficial long-term signing for Thatcher Demko. Sim to date, still got Scout signing, more Scout signing. There you go. Caden Reed and Thatcher Demko accepted. Okay, so we are now set in goal for the remainder of the GMO, hopefully. Our one big free agent signing this offseason was definitely an important one. And again, the defensive core is a little weak after Kuleshov and Jones, but it is a work in progress as all these guys are 20 or younger, other than Dahan, of course, who is the veteran presence. And then we've definitely gotten much younger. We have definitely gotten much younger. I mean, you got 21 Aho, Homer's 22, Mayer's 21, Point is 27, and then you have Robertson 23, Pearson 22, Stahlberg 21, Zanetti 18. I'm not expecting to go on a playoff run, just given the current status of our defensive core and our inexperience. But the future is looking much brighter for your Wolfsburg Wolves than it was last year. At least in terms of the amount of veterans we had. So now you got guys, like Miller, Malkin, Furland, Pajot to help out, develop these young guys. But other than that, we're looking much better in terms of our average age. And that is about it for this one. Or at least in terms of the the free agency, let's get to the preseason to find out the offseason jump and just about everything for the preseason. All right, so here we are, the preseason of year number 6. We are still considered a contender, which is interesting. So let's see the growth that happened over the offseasons. Schneider's an 88 and Demko is a 90, so we have a stellar goaltending tandem there. And then Rodin is a 71. So there's some hope there for Kalle Rodin. And then defensively, you have Kuleshov and Jones, and Zamnov is actually an 83. So that was a good trade. That was definitely a good trade. Only 10 NHL games of experience, but he definitely fills a nice void there. He could be on the top 4 with Dahan, and then it'll be Staples and Virtanen on the top 6 to start out the season. And then you have Homer and Aho are both 87s. I would imagine they're both first-line forwards at this point, so they could anchor down the first line, maybe with JT Miller or Mayer. Whoever is on the first line of Mayer or Miller, the other one will be on the second line with Point. And I would say Furland. And then third line could be Malkin with Pearson and maybe Robertson or Zanetti. And then the fourth line could be with Pajot and whoever is on the third line. So, and then, yeah, we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I'm going to send, Williams is still a 77, so we're going to send him back down to the AHL with Kirk. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Williams, but Still got some development to do, so we're going to send him back down. Then Kundratek is a 78, so that's good to know. And he looks to be developing nicely, at least compared to what he was before. And yeah, there you go. There is the start of the season NHL roster. Let's see what the best lines does. So it's saying Mayer with Aho and Homer. I'm going to put Miller here. And then Mayer with Point and Furland. And then Gino with... I'd say Pearson needs to be on the third line. So I'm actually going to move Gino to the left. Pearson can be in the middle. And then Pajot in the middle over here. And it's got to be either Robertson or Stahlberg or Zanetti on the third line. I'm going to say Zanetti on the fourth line for right now. Just given his that he's 18. And then Stahlberg or Robertson. Just because Robertson's the more offensively minded guy. Because he's the sniper. And then Stahlberg is the two-way forward. I'll put Stahlberg down here with Pajot and Zanetti. And then Robertson, Pearson, and Gino. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. So then Kuleshov and Jones, Dahan and Zamnov, Staples and Vertanen. Got it right there. And let's do the... I'm going to do the special teams on my own real quick. I'll see you guys in 1 second. Alright, so here we go. Special teams. Power play is looking like Miller, Aho, Homer, Kuleshov, and Jones. Basically, the 5-on-5 lines, Mayer, Point, and then Malkin with Dahan and Zamnov. Then the four-man is Aho and Homer with Jones and Kuleshov. Then Point and Mayer with Zamnov and Dahan. Penalty kill will be Pablo Pearson with JT Miller. And then Kuleshov and Jones. And then Jorg Aho with Frederick Stahlberg. And Vertanen and Zamnov. Then Pearson, Kuleshov, and Jones and Aho, Vertanen, and Zamnov for the three-man penalty kill. 4-on-4, Aho, Homer, Kuleshov, and Jones. Point, Mayer, Dahan, and Zamnov. Malkin, Miller, Staples, and Vertanen. 3-on-3 will be Aho, Homer, and Kuleshov. Point, Mayer, and Jones. Malkin, Miller, and Zamnov. Aho and Point are the extra attackers. And then the shootout is Point, Homer, Kuleshov, Aho, and Mayer. Goaltenders, you have Demko and Schneider, and nobody is currently scratched. So there you go. Here are the current lines for the AHL. Williams is alongside of Kirk and Dudas. And then Kundratek is with Sawdust. So I would imagine Williams gets a big jump this year based off how much he's going to be playing with how bad the bottom six is for the AHL. And Kundratek might end up getting a nice boost as well. I mean, you got a stacked top four there, but Dersh and Skotka, you know, aren't anything too special. So I expect good things out of the AHL team this year, as well as the NHL team. And even if we don't make the playoffs, I at the very least want to see growth out of our young guys in Wolfsburg. So that'll be it for that. And let's just make sure the captains are all good. It should be Aho and then Homer and Kuleshov is the alternates. There you go. Let's see any new numbers. So Pearson is 18. Robertson 19. Zanetti 64. Stahlberg 61. Zamnov 47. Vertanen 92. Staples 96. And Demko 30. There you go. So that'll just about do it for this one. I wanted to end this one off early, as I do want to either play a preseason game or do a commentary third period in the next one. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.